Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. Just wanted to bring you a short video about some range results. We're not really going to go into like super in-depth detail about any of this stuff because really no need to. I'll touch on the 6.5 Creedmoor stuff. That's really what I'm, I guess, mostly concerned about at this point. The rest of this stuff is not necessarily low development type stuff. The 6.5 Creedmoor is. So we would be doing this video outside since I finally cleaned off the little patio table on my back deck, but my neighbors are getting their roof worked on, and so those guys are going nuts over there getting the roof repaired. So it's kind of loud outside. But really, I wanted to go over this target, show you the results that I got, and this is from when I didn't think I would be able to make it to the range yesterday. I ended up, there was a break in the weather. I ran over there. I tried to shoot this stuff as fast as I could, alternating between the rifles I was shooting to try to let the barrels cool as much as possible. But I was just trying to get some stuff shot. Really, mostly, so down here, we'll just start down here. This is a 300 Blackout stuff, right? This is for the Mossberg Patriot MVP series rifle. I think that's what it's called. And it's a bolt action chambered in 300 Blackout, and I had bought some SIG brass to load for it, so it was all brand new. I just need to get the stuff fire formed. That's really all I cared about doing, was just running 50 rounds through it as fast as possible to get the brass, and then that way I can come back and start load development. So I shot these in 5-shot groups. This has a little 4-power scope on it. And so this is just using H110 and the Hornady 110 VMAX. That's all that is. I was just doing my best to hold right there. I wasn't concerned about accuracy that much, because I'm gonna actually get a different scope to put on that. So that was just, hey, run some rounds, right? I'd shoot 5 and then alternate to a different rifle. And then that was sort of my process. I started off with the Creedmoor, and then went to the 350 Legend, and then 300 Blackout, and I just kept kind of rotating through. Speaking of the 350 Legend, next up, that was this stuff right here. Not necessarily low development. This is more or less kind of breaking in that barrel on the new CVA Scout that I picked up over at Mr. Big Guns. All 3 of these rifles, actually, I picked up over at Mr. Big Guns in Huntsville. And so I had loaded up some Hornady 165 grain FTX. I was just wanting to test it out with H110. That's a good 350 Legend powder. And so I just kind of loaded up, again, same thing, 50 rounds. I shot some in a previous range session. This was me just trying to finish out the remainder of the rounds. And so really nothing too spectacular, to be honest with you. 4 there, and then the fifth shot. Oop. My target kind of fell. I've got it barely propped up here. By the way, sorry I took the target sticks, Don. I didn't really have time to break everything apart, and I just threw it in the car, and I was in a hurry. So don't worry, I'll bring them back. And then the next one, this was actually very promising. It's same kind of deal, 4 and then threw 1 out, and then the next group right after that was just 5 ugly, right? But what I will mention on the 350 Legend, something that I'm very happy to see, if you'll go back and watch some of my previous 350 Legend videos, I was using a Winchester XPR rifle, was my 350 Legend previously, and I loaded up some 125 grain shock hammer bullets. Okay, go watch that. I show the results. I loaded up 3 different groups, or 3 different charge weights. I think it was like 25, 25.5, and 26, maybe, something like that, grains of H110. And the first 2 groups, they shot awful. They were terrible out of that rifle. So I actually set the 26 grain charge group to the side, and I was like, I'm just gonna pull that ammo because it is so bad. Well, I never got around to pulling it, and I just had 3 rounds sitting around, and it was that 26 grain charge. So I decided to shoot those through the CVA Scout, and that's what our 3-shot group looks like. That's the other one. That's the 165 FTX group up here. But man, that is so much better, so far and away better. It comes in, I think it measures right at an inch, but that is like so much better than than what the Winchester XPR shot those, right? I mean, it was bad, the groups with the XPR. So I'm hoping that we'll see that performance again, because I'm going to go back and reload that same setup and just see how it shoots with the CVA Scout. Because if it shoots good, that's going to be great. Because after the initial loading and testing, I was like, man, I just wasted money on these bullets. So hopefully we can have some more good results there. We'll see. That's just the first 3-shot group with that bullet out of that particular rifle. Hopefully it likes it. For the 6.5 Creedmoor, I was only able to get 6 groups shot. I've got a lot more stuff loaded up because why did my focus? What is going on? With the 6.5 Creedmoor, I only shot 6 groups. I've got a bunch of stuff loaded up though, because I'm actually testing Winchester Stay Ball 6.5 across 3 different bullets. So up here, this is the Hornady 129 grain interlock, and this is shot out of a different rifle altogether, but this is where I shot I was using my Kimber 84M Hunter, and started off, I've only got 4 of those groups left, 3 now. I wasn't able to finish up my range session, but not too bad there on that particular group. I think that's 43.8 grains of Winchester Stay Ball, and then this next row of dots, this is going to be for the Nosler 120 ballistic tip. And then down here, this is the Barnes 120 grain tip TSX. So, and Winchester Stay Ball with all of it. So pretty much the theme here, or at least for the Barnes, was didn't start off that great and then slowly got better as the charge weights went up, right? As we increased our charge weights, our groups tightened up to the point where that measures 0.332 inches. So really good 3-shot group there. And that's 44.3 grains of Winchester Stay Ball. And I ended at 44.5. Gotta go back over I got my notes here. Yep. 43.7 is what I started with, and I ended at 44.5. So that's 43.7. And then I was just jumping 0.2 of a grain, because for the Barnes, I didn't really have Winchester Stay Ball load data for the 120s. And so I was just kind of making it up somewhat. And I think we're pretty close. No pressure signs whatsoever. So I'm actually going to go back and work up a little bit further, go a little bit higher, and see what that looks like. See if we can continue this trend of, because these 2 groups here, so you've got that 0.332 and you've got a bookend of, it's like right at an inch, and then this one is 3/4 of an inch. So, you know, not too bad there. Again, 3-shot groups, because the barrel profile is such a thin barrel. 3 shots, the barrel's smoking hot. It takes forever to cool back down, right? So it's a hunting rifle. It is what it is. If I can put the first few shots consistently inch or better, I'm fine with that. That's going to be perfectly acceptable for the hunting that I do. So that's it. I just wanted to just kind of throw this stuff at you. Nothing really to take away from this target in terms of load data, in my opinion. That's why I don't have anything labeled here. There's really nothing that I would feel is pertinent, or at least worth passing on, except for the fact that, like, hey, the Hammer Bullets 350 Legend, maybe this new rifle, maybe that's a good combo, right? Maybe that bullet and barrel combination will work. That would be great if it would. And then for the Barnes and Winchester Stay Ball 6.5, in this particular instance, it looks like the higher we went in charge weight, the better it performed, and it just tightened up across that spectrum. So we're going to go back, push it a little bit further, and then if we find accuracy just kind of falls apart on the top end, you know, the higher we go, we'll revisit this area and make sure we can confirm that load is an actual good load. So there's really nothing to take away from this target, other than I just wanted to show you guys I was able to get out to the range and you know, put some rounds down range. This is kind of what's coming up, right? I want to work up a 300 Blackout load using the Barnes 110. Whatever, it's the black tip bullet that they have. That's why I just wanted to get the brass, right? I just wanted to run some rounds through the rifle, get the barrel broken in, fire form the brass. Now we can go and start working up loads with that particular bullet. So that's the case there. 350 Legends, same thing. It was just barrel break in and then shooting those 3 leftover rounds, which now that gives us a good baseline. We're going to go back and definitely validate that. And then more Creedmoor stuff. So getting ready for hunting season. But that's it. That's all, guys. Don't forget, make sure you go down, see Matt and those guys over at Mr. Big Guns in Huntsville, man. You know, just that's the place to go. That's my #1 place, my #1 stop. I know they just got in a bunch of powder, so if you need some powder, go down there, see those guys. Same thing, Midway Pistol and Ammo out in Gurley. It's another great place to visit and see what they have in stock. They don't carry reloading stuff, but firearms, optics, ammo, that type of stuff. Check them out. And so that's it. That's all. We'll catch you guys next time. Y'all have a good one.